Hello, today I'm going to show you how to convert any alternative number system aside from decimal into decimal, and it's a lot more simple than you might first think. All you need is the base of that number system and exponents, or the powers of, based on the place value of the number. So I'm going to do some examples for you, but keep in mind this works for many alternative number systems. It works for octal, hexadecimal, trinary, quinary. Have a test with it yourself after I show you, and you'll see that you can convert things accurately. Let's start with a hexadecimal number. Okay, let's say that our number is A53B, and this is base 16. This is hexadecimal. Now we have A and B here, so you need to remember in hexadecimal, 10 is A and 11 is B. And it goes all the way to 15, with 15 being F. So how exactly do we do this? Well, let's write the number down like this. A, 5, 3, B. Now, how do we convert this to decimal? Well, we multiply each of the numbers by 16. This is 16 to the power of, with the exponent of, the number of places, starting at 0. So this is B times 16 to the power of 0, then 3 times 16 to the power of 1, 2, and 3. And to make it easier, let's write down the decimal versions of both of these numbers, being 10 and 11. Now, let's get these numbers, shall we? You might want to get your calculator out for this, but let's start with the first one, because the first one's going to be easy. Do you remember what anything to the power of 0 is? Well, anything to the power of 0 is 1. So 11 times 1 is 11. Now, up here, this is 3 times 16 to the power of 1. So that means you can just do 3 times 16. But you can add to the power of 1 if you want. And that is 48. Now we have 5 times 16 to the power of 2. 5 times 16 to the power of 2, which is 1,280. Now we have 10 times 16 to the power of 3. To the power of 3. And this is 40,960. Now what do? Well, this next step shouldn't be too hard for you. You simply add all of these numbers together. Okay, so we have 8 plus 1, which is 9. Then we have 6 plus 4, which is 10, plus 8 plus 1, which is 9, and carry the 1. Now this is 9 plus 2 plus 1, which is 12, carry the 1, and 1 plus 1 is 2, and 4. So A53B in base 16 is equal to 42299 in base 10. But as always, I'm going to quickly test this on an online converter just to make sure that I haven't skipped any steps. Now that I've checked it and I can see that my answer is correct, let's move on. Let's try in octal, which is base 8. Let's write an octal number. So let's do the number 5072 in base 8 in octal. Now let's write it like this, 5072. Now if you remember, we need to multiply it by something. But what do we multiply it by? Not 16, because this is octal. This is base 8, meaning we need to multiply it by the new base, which is 8 this time. And we need it to be the power of its place value starting at 0. So the first row here is 0, then 1, 2, and 3. Alright, now what will these be? Let's start at the top this time. 5 times 8 to the power of 3 is 2,560. Now 0 times 8 to the power of 2 is 0 because 0 times anything is 0, because you can't have no times a thing. Next is 7 times 8 to the power of 1. If you remember your times tables, 7 times 8 is 56. And now we have 2 times 8 to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1, so 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's add all of these together. We have 6 plus 2 is 8. We have 5 plus 6, which is 11, and carry the 1 there. We have 1 plus 5 is 6, and we have 2. And now, don't just take my word for it, I'm going to use an online converter to test for myself and convert 2,618. So my answer was correct, and hopefully my logic is correct. So let's write this. 5,072 in base 8 is equivalent to 2,618 in base 10. Well, let's think about what we need to do. All we need to do for each place in a number is get that number, times it by the base of that number system to the power of its place. And I'm going to say P for place. And this is it. That's essentially all you need to do. Then you'll get your answer, and you'll sum all your answers together, and then you'll get your decimal version. And that's how it works. I'm going to make some specific videos of how this works, giving examples in other number systems, but this is the formula you can use to convert numbers to decimal from other number systems. Thanks so much for watching. I hope this helped.